After breakfast, my hurried footsteps accompany the secretary. They echo in the corridor. We're heading towards the council room. Give me the latest report on the rebellion at the border.
Yes, Your Majesty. 2 days ago, an armed conflict broke out in the Sten Galaxy, a vassal to the Empire. Their former leader was overthrown. The new leader, Helron, has publicly declared succession and is launching an assault on the Empire's Fortress Number 1. The major station there defected during combat and colluded with Sten's forces.
Fortress Number 1 is a strategic choke point on the Empire's border. Its firepower is enough to lock down the entire Steen Galaxy. It's the Empire's spear and its shield. If it falls, unrest will be inevitably spread to the heartland. Words are hard. The traitor at the border. Major Ways, I presume. Where is he?
After the rebellion was crushed, he was taken to the Empire's most secure prison. Now, he waits for Your Majesty's judgment.
Good. Let him ruminate. There are more pressing matters at hand. Since the rebellion at Fortress Number 1 has been dealt with, a power vacuum has formed. Spoils must be claimed. The greedy nobles have already gathered in the council room. They're eager to control the fortress. Who led the campaign against the rebels?
It was the Grand General, Your Majesty. His forces have already taken control of Fortress Number 1. The Grand General has just arrived at the palace. He's waiting for you in the council room alongside the nobles and ministers.
Zayne. In the second month of my reign, Zayne left the capital to deal with the rebellions on the border. It's been 6 months since I last saw him. To ignore the limits of his authority again. Is this his idea of a gift? No matter. I'm ready to play his game. Go forth. With the finest visage, deceive their eyes, and disguise your true heart underneath the guise. At the far end of the room, Zayne stands with his back to the assembly. Once he hears my footsteps, I was reading. He slowly turns.
Majesty.
Zayne gives me a slight nod of acknowledgement. He looks the same as I remember. Stern, indifferent, almost unchanged. Hi, Zany. Hi, Pookie. Under the watchful, scheming eyes of the court, I smile and walk towards Zayne before... I love that. I love that it just swapped. Great. Zayne, you spent the last 6 months quelling rebellions. I trust you haven't sustained any serious injuries?
Perhaps it's thanks to Your Majesty's blessing that I remain unscathed.
I can't help but glance in his direction before I can speak. The nobles show us the chance to reveal their accusations as if I've given them a signal.
Whenever the Grand General pacifies a region, he stations his troops there and refuses to leave. One might think Your Majesty had given him those planets to govern.
The Empire Codex states that one must not seize territories under the Empire's protection in the name of military achievements. All reclaimed territory should be distributed among the nobility by the current ruler. And yet the Grand General's takeover of the fortress disregards the Imperial law and Your Majesty's authority. I implore you to punish him for his crimes.
Punish Zany. In unison, every noble bows and silently pressures me. They pretend to uphold the law and defend my honor, but they want to drive a wedge between me and Zayne. I look at Zayne, who has the faintest hint of a smile on his lips. Despite the indictments, he doesn't show any traces of unease. I've seen this expression countless times. I know that Zayne's actions always come with meticulous preparations.
The Lord of Star Sector Number 3 allowed his subordinates to invade a vassal planet, plunder its resources, and destroy its starships. Would that not constitute an abuse of power?
Night. How are you? Oh yeah, chat, just so you all are aware, we are reading Zayne's new 5-star. Pangea is currently turned off right now. Just so you all know. Nice. Nice. I'd be happy to.
Star Sector Number 2 has been underreporting its tax revenue. If paid in full, the arrears could cover the Empire's military budget for 5 years. Imperial law also states that the punishment for such a crime is exile. Smuggling for profit, imposing extortionate levies, misappropriating supplies, falsifying production reports. These are all capital offenses the Empress must judge. Since all of you hold the Imperial law in such high regard, let us abide by it. I presume there are no objections.
I suppress the urge to laugh. When it comes to governing the Empire, Zayne and I have no fundamental disagreements. The galaxies Zayne classified are safer in his hands compared to these nobles. Still.
Don't change the subject, Zayne. We're talking about you seizing Imperial territory for yourself.
Sneaky, can you do me a favor? Can you pin that Pangea redeems are currently turned off until I'm done reading? Thank you. For any of the mods that are here.
I would call it protecting Her Majesty's territory from parasites.
You!
Setting other matters aside, the jurisdiction of Fortress Number 1 concerns Imperial defense. Only Her Majesty has the authority to decide its fate. Wouldn't the Grand General's unauthorized takeover be considered an overreach of his authority?
This is precisely... words. This is precisely what I've been considering. Zayne has certainly accomplished a great deal. He has restored order to the land, yet in turn he has quietly amassed more power. Out of the nobles who remained silent, a good number maintained contact with Zayne in secret. Their silence in the council room speaks of where their true loyalties lie. It's time to make a decision. Execute everyone, I'm tired. Then I shall deal with it myself. Both of these options seem crazy. I'm tempted to pick the first one. The menace in me is saying to pick the first one. We're doing it. How many times have I been caught in this vortex of power? I've lost count. The ceaseless political machinations are enough to bring down a mighty empire and erode its empress's ambitions. The insatiable greed of these people before me once again fills me with a wariness that has settled deep into my bones. I'm tired, Master. I'm going to rest now. I haven't addressed him as such in a long time. Zayne looks taken aback, reminded of the days when he was my preceptor.
You've already made your choice. Is that right?
These might be the last words we ever say to each other. Uh-oh, did I pick the wrong one? I think I did. I don't answer to him. I don't answer him. I turn and walk out of the hall. Oh, shit! Armed guards enter the council room as soon as I leave. They seal the doors to close off the blood. And screaming. The last person who's dragged out of the court scribe is the court scribe, shuddering in fear but still dutifully taking notes. I give him a reminder. Nothing happened today. Yeah, that was the wrong ending. In the cosmic year 649, the Empress set a trap during a meeting and executed her political enemies. Only the Grand General managed to fight his way out. The following year, the Empress and the Grand General set envoys to negotiate. After an attempt for peace fell through after 2 hours. The Empire was thrown into a civil war. Uh-oh. Oopsie daisy. It said the council meeting in the cosmic year 649 was the last time Empress Kyoria and the Grand General Zayne ever met face to face. Whether or not the Empress looked back at the Grand General as she departed is a detail lost to history. But that hasn't stopped generations from retelling their story. He was once her preceptor, before becoming her ally. For 6 months they were monarch and subordinate, then mortal enemies for the rest of their lives. They had once striven to avoid war, yet they were driven to the worst possible fate. Their names are forever stained in the annals of history. To this day, their supporters still argue over who's responsible. Was it the threat posed by the Grand General that deprived the Empress of her chance to be a benevolent ruler? Or was it the Empress's suspicions that forced the Grand General to rebel? When faced with a greater prize, is love always the first to be sacrificed? It's a question no one can answer. What we can say for certain, however, is that on such a morning, to say nothing happened would be nothing short of lying. Excerpt from The Rise of and the Fall of the Cosmic Empire. Oopsies. I picked the wrong one. Okay, we'll go back to episode 1. I won't read this chat because it's pretty much going to be the same until we get to that point.
Yes, Your Majesty. 2 days ago, an armed conflict broke out in the Sten Galaxy. The new leader, Helron, has publicly declared succession. The major station. After the rebellion was crushed.
I thought that I clicked to go right back to that part.
It was
but
the Grand
whatever.
General has just arrived at the palace.
Your Majesty. Perhaps it's thanks to Your Majesty's blessing that I remain unscathed.
Whenever the Grand General pacifies, one might think.
The all
Let me
reclaimed,
get back to the
and
spot.
yet the
The Lord of Star Sector Number 3 allowed his subordinates to invade a vassal planet, plunder its resources, and destroy its starships. Would that not constitute an abuse of power? Star Sector Number 2 has been underreporting its tax revenue. If paid in full, the arrears could cover the Empire's military budget for 5 years. Imperial law also states that the punishment for such a crime is exile.
Yeah.
Smuggling for profit, imposing extortionate levies, misappropriating supplies, falsifying production reports. These are all capital offenses the Empress must judge. Since all of you hold the Imperial law in such high regard, let us abide by it. I presume there are no objections.
Don't change the subject, Zayne. We're talking about you.
I would call it protecting Her Majesty's territory from parasites.
You.
Setting other matters aside, the jurisdiction of Fortress Number 1 concerns Imperial defense. Only Her Majesty has the authority to decide its fate. Wouldn't the Grand General's unauthorized takeover be considered an overreach of his authority?
This is precisely what I've been considering. Zayne has certainly accomplished a great deal. He has restored order to the land, yet in turn he has quietly amassed more power. Out of the nobles who have remained silent, a good number maintain contact with Zayne in secret. Their silence in the council room speaks of where their true loyalties lie. It's time to make a decision. Then I shall deal with it myself. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for. Incompetent nobles, inflexible ministers, none of them is worthy of my trust. Zayne could have been that person, but as of this moment, I can no longer read his intentions. So, I shall deal with it myself. It was a nonchalant announcement.
There's no precedent for this.
As of today, there is. Please consult the Codex. If there's anything that forbids an empress from directly ruling her territory. The nobles exchanged uncertain glances. For them, submitting to me is still a better alternative than submitting to Zayne. The deciding factor is Zayne's attitude. I've been closely observing his reaction.
Fortress Number 1 is yours, Your Majesty.
I have to thank you for quelling the rebellion, Grand General. And just like that, the fate of the disputed territory is settled. The nobles' faces fall, their eyes darting between Zayne and me. They're searching for any sign of conspiracy. Even I feel a flicker of doubt. Will Zayne truly let it end like this? To keep Zayne in check, this is hardly enough. Reclaiming galaxies is only the first step. I need to gauge what Zayne's current military strength is in case the worst comes to pass.
I will withdraw my troops as soon as possible to complete the process, Your Majesty.
There's no rush. I have other uses for your troops, Grand General. According to tradition... According to tradition... Words! I can't! According to tradition, the Empress's coronation ceremony is a month-long affair. It accumulates in a grand military parade. However, because of the uprising in the Steen Galaxy, Zayne was ordered to take the main fleet to the border. The military parade was indefinitely postponed. It's time to hold the parade. The location will be Fortress Number 1, my newly claimed territory. Zayne?
I have no objections.
With a radiant smile on my face, I turn to the nobles. You will gather your armies and participate as well. It's settled then. If there's nothing else, all of you are dismissed. Before the nobles could react, the guards stationed outside the room enter because of my orders. They escort them out. Faced with the guards' weapons, they can only swallow their protest and leave. Each mulls over their own thoughts. The innocent return home, and the guilty are sent to prisons on the border. Wait, Zayne. I call out to him in a voice loud enough for everyone to hear. Stay at the palace tonight. I lead Zayne through the corridors as we head to the room that was prepared for him. Did you see the looks on those nobles' faces when I asked you to stay? Suspicious, prying, suggestive, wanting a good show. They were eager to see what would transpire.
I imagine most won't be sleeping well tonight.
Satisfied with my victory, I turned to face Zayne and walked backwards with a spring in my step. They're already placing bets on us.
On whether you'll kill me?
On how I'll kill you. I admit, some of the ideas have been inspirational.
Congratulations. The fact that you're aware means your influence is greater than what their intuition tells them.
That's not the reaction I was hoping for. I turned back around and quickened my pace. Your supporters grow in number every day. More planets pledge their allegiance to you. As for me, it doesn't matter how great my influence is. An empress such as myself is still dispensable. Silence hangs in the air behind me. I wonder what Zayne is thinking. Quite some time has passed before he speaks.
You've never been one to let others sway you.
You know me so well. A branch reaches into the corridor, which blocks my path. Unwilling to bow my head, I stop beneath it and turn to face Zayne. What does my preceptor think of my decision in the council room? I deliberately enunciate the old title as if to provoke him.
I was under the impression we were past that once you ascended the throne.
How so? Do you remember this tree? We planted it years ago. It's been here all this time, yet it's never bloomed. Back then, I was only the crown princess, while Zayne was already the grand general with several medals. He commanded the army and oversaw the Empire's most prestigious military academy. Eager to learn the art of politics from a master, I sought him out. Hi, wifey. When I returned to the palace, Zayne was the only person I could trust and depend on during the struggle for the throne. This tree symbolized our alliance and the trust we once shared.
You were an excellent learner.
Zayne picks up the garden shears and begins pruning the overgrown branches.
You used the military parade as a pretense to gauge the strength of my forces. In addition, you kept me here in front of everyone and used our association as a warning to the nobles. Killing two birds with one stone. It was a clever move.
Has it ever occurred to you that he meets my gaze and I don't look away? I asked you to stay because we haven't seen each other in a long time. It wasn't necessarily because I wanted to intimidate the nobility. The journey from the border to the Empire is long. You need to properly rest. Zayne is momentarily stunned. Seeing him at a loss for words improves my mood. Your room is just ahead. You used it before, so I doubt you need me to show you the way. Was this walk away short? What a shame. I wanted to see Zayne speechless for a little longer. Holding my head high, I pass under the tree and walk away. "3 years ago. In this study, Zayne and I sit across from each other. A holographic screen is between us. The combat simulation is about to begin. The Empire's developments have been adjusted according to the new defense protocol. This simulation will test its viability. Zayne attacks while I defend. The simulation ends when the Empire falls. This protocol, is my chance to prove myself as a crown princess. I'm taking this very seriously, which means Zayne will show no mercy.
Checkmate. Your defenses are impeccable, Your Highness. Your execution, however, could be improved.
Stop mocking me. I'll defeat you next round.
I'm looking forward to it.
In the new game, I successfully avoid making my previous mistakes and take control of the board. I triumphantly look at Zayne, but he still appears certain about his victory. When I realize something's amiss. The tables have turned. My troops are forced to retreat and recovery is impossible.
Is there a need to play this out?
Damn it. Why can't I beat him? It doesn't matter what I do. The defense protocol, my goodness, is sound, but my pride is now on the line. I made a misplay. I want to take back that move. Without waiting for Zayne's answer, I reached for the undo button to try and rewind the battle to the point before his counterattack.
I'm afraid that's prohibited.
Before I could touch the button, a layer of ice freezes it.
Don't give me that look. When you invited me here, you promised me that I could be merciless, no?
It's not over yet. Give me a moment to think. Pretending to contemplate, I let my gaze drift to the window. Zayne, why hasn't the tree we planted bloomed yet? As I had hoped, Zayne follows my gaze.
It's possible that now's not the time. Some trees don't blossom in their first year.
While he's distracted, I quickly mute the simulation and stealthily reassign one of his military units to my command.
And some trees bloom when you're not looking.
I met Zayne's gaze. Uh-oh.
Change it back.
Cheating is a skill.
All right. However, I caught you red-handed, so your attempt failed.
Not like I need to cheat to beat you. It's midnight. The brutal score of 12-0 flashes before my eyes. Refusing to accept defeat, I hit the start button again.
Your Highness, it's time for me to leave.
Zayne stands up and I grab his hand. Finish this game with me. You could stay the night if you must. Zayne silently glances at our clasped hands.
It would be inappropriate of me to spend the night in the Crown Princess's living quarters.
Who cares about what's appropriate? If you insist on leaving, I'll assume you're afraid of losing to me.
It's time for you to rest.
I don't need that. I need to figure out how to beat you.
What are you willing to sacrifice for victory?
He's so close that I can see my reflection in his eyes. I'm still wearing the expression of someone who refuses to lose. Don't think you can trick me into letting go. He taps the screen with his finger, which catches my attention.
Here.
He's indicating a key strategic fortress, one I have captured early in the game. For a moment, I don't understand what he's implying.
To win a war, you must sacrifice something important.
Oh. He gave us pointers.
Look, Your Majesty, it's the Valkyrie.
That's not what that looks like to me. My thoughts are interrupted by the maid's voice. I collect myself and look out the window of the mothership's observation deck. Hi, Rocky. How are you? The numbers from countless combat simulations appear before me, as formations of the battleships span across the starry expanse. To win, I must sacrifice something important. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the nobles are captivated by Zayne's formidable... I see the nobles are captivated by Zayne's formidable starship fleet. It's exactly as I have hoped. When my hold on the throne was precarious, Zayne played the part of my adversary. He drew the animosity and scrutiny of the nobility away from me. Now the nobles are more or less under my control, but Zayne's power can't be considered a simple counterweight. He has become the greatest obstacle to rule over the Empire. Hello. To reclaim my power as Empress, the first one to be sacrificed must be...
Your Majesty, it's time for your speech.
Don't let it be Zayne. The platform I'm standing on slowly rises as the comms channel opens. The entire Imperial army waits patiently for my speech. I rein in my gaze and my thoughts and read from the prepared script. The words are rote, platitudes about the Empire's future, the Empress's glory, and Zayne displayed extraordinary merit in quelling for the rebellion at Fortress Number 1. He has personally trained countless brilliant military minds and laid the foundation for the Empire's order. I recite Zayne's achievement without even glancing at my script. In regard to everything he's done for the Empire, no one knows them better than I do. I once believed he was shouldering my burdens. Only later did I realize what he had secured for himself was more than I had ever imagined. Zayne is the Empire's sharpest sword and its most silent guardian. Even historians known for their stern consciousness were willing to make an exception and lavish extra ink on Zayne's achievements. They left behind a rare commendation, that word? It is said that during the military parade, cosmic year 649, the Empress read aloud his contributions to the Empire from sunrise to sunset before finishing the list. But let us skip past the grand highlights of this ceremony to witness a minor unexpected incident. It was this interlude that gave the tense parade a name fondly remembered in the streets and allies for generations. Excerpts from The Rise and Fall of the Cosmic Empire. With the stars as my witness, I shall bestow upon Zayne the Imperial Medal on behalf of the Cosmic Empire. Zayne stands before me, his back to the crowd, his gaze rests on me. My fingers fumble with the clasp, but the medal refuses to be fastened. I become impatient and my movements grow clumsy. Zayne slightly bends down to make it easier for me. His voice is tinged with amusement, and his breath is so close that it almost caresses my neck.
You appear to be rather reluctant to bestow this medal, Your Majesty.
Having secured the pin, I take this opportunity to pat him twice on the chest, a little harder than necessary. It's under the pretext of smoothing his uniform. You've taken another prize from me. Did you expect me to celebrate with fanfare?
In any case, I've prepared a gift for you, Your Majesty.
Before long, a sword is brought forth. It gleams with a chilling light. This material is blade silver? Blade silver is a remarkably hard alloy, and weapons forged from it are exceptionally sharp. The key mineral for its synthesis is only found in Zayne Galaxy. The forging technique is exclusive to their people. What is the meaning behind this gift? Under the watchful eyes of all present, Zayne gets down on one knee and presents the weapon to me.
Blade silver is resilient and unbreakable. I present this sword to Your Majesty in the hopes that the bond between us will prove to be indestructible. May the Empire grow stronger under your reign.
The Grand General is swearing fealty to the Empress. Does this mean they're no longer rivals?
Will the Grand General truly be content to stand in the Empress's shadow?
Amidst the whispers, I lower my gaze towards Zayne. The sword he holds casts a shadow over his face, which obscures his expression, yet I can see that the sheath is engraved with my favorite flower, jasmines. Did you have these carved for me?
Yes.
All this effort. Are you trying to rekindle what we once had? Everyone around us holds their breaths. They're waiting to see how Zayne will respond to my pointed question. Composed, Zayne rises and fastens the sword to my belt, With practice eased, just as I'm about to step back, he wraps an arm around my waist and holds me in place. He cuts me off calmly.
Has it ever occurred to you that I'm simply keeping a promise? I said I'd give you a proper weapon as a gift for your coronation.
His words catch me off guard. Is this a counterattack for when I told him that he needed to properly rest?
The rebellion was unforeseen. I'm afraid I was late by 210 days. Fortunately, you're still willing to accept it, Your Majesty.
210 days. It has been exactly 210 days since he left. I don't remember if I refuted him. The ceremony became known as the Jasmine Festival. For a long time afterwards, a belated gift was called the Empress's Jasmine. So, traveler walking amongst the stars, should you find yourself regrettably absent from one of life's pivotal moments, do not forget to bring a banquet of jasmines. I cannot talk today, chat. I am so sorry. Excerpt from The Rise and Fall of the Cosmic Empire. The military parade has ended. I'm back in my room and staring at my reflection in the mirror. My gaze falls to the sword at my waist. There's an inexplicable irritation in my heart, an itch that I couldn't scratch. I accepted Zayne's gift, but I have no idea what he's trying to imply.
There is no need to be upset with the sword, Your Majesty. Let me stow it away in the darkest corner of the cosmos. I promise, you'll never lay eyes on it again.
She reaches for it, but I don't let go. It's a beautiful sword. Unconsciously, I run my hand over the sheath. The embossed jasmine petals are cool and defined. They're like him. Only now that I realize that it wasn't the sword that bothered me. It was the way he presented it. He was so composed and assured, as if he knew I'd keep it. Seeing my silence, the maid smiles and presents a beautiful dress.
Your Majesty, you manage countless affairs of the Empire. Even when you're at the border, you oversee every detail. You should take some time to unwind. A ball is being held for the soldiers later. If you make an appearance, I'm sure many will line up to dance with you. You could choose any fine gentleman. Perhaps you'll forget about the Grand General then.
Who said he was on my mind? My fingertips rest on the last jasmine petal of the sheath as I narrow my eyes. Indeed, I need to unwind. Girly, I feel like he's gonna be there. When I step into the brilliantly lit ballroom, all conversation ceases. Even the music falters for a beat. Filled with awe, curiosity, and reverence, dozens of eyes turn to me. Smiling, I raise a glass and toast to the room. At ease, everyone. I'm here for a dance, not an inspection. The music resumes and a young officer approaches me. His ears are red.
Your Majesty, may I have the honor of this dance?
My gaze travels from his epaulets to his boots before settling back on his nervous expression. Almost instinctively, I began to analyze his background, rank, posture, even the tone of his voice, and most importantly, his motives. Then I realize I'm analyzing a young man who only mustered up the courage to ask me for a dance. My maid's words ring true. I've been trapped in the Empire's games for too long. It's time to try some of life's simple joys. My first dance is yours.
Yes, Your Majesty. I will always be loyal to you.
His unfiltered display of fondness makes me smile. This candid admiration and reverence. Haven't I been looking for those? For some reason, my thoughts drift back to Zayne. Today, he pledged his loyalty to me before everyone. But where does his heart truly lie? I place my hand in the young soldier's and walk towards the center of the dance floor under everyone's gaze. He won't even dare to look at me, and I feel awkward. I'm unsure how I can dance with someone like this. The ballroom doors swing open and the sudden noise brings the orchestra to a halt. I feel as though the air has been sucked from the room. Only a frozen silence remains. A familiar set of footsteps echoes across the floor. The crowd parts like the tide, and Zayne comes to a stop before me.
Find someone else for your first dance.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. The young soldier jolts like a new recruit being called on. He salutes before hurrying away. I stare at my empty palm. You scared off my dance partner. Zayne extends his hand as an invitation to dance.
In that case, I'll be his replacement. After the military parade, rumors say we're in the midst of a power struggle. Supposedly, we're conspiring to fool the nobles and claim the fortress as our private property. Those looking to pick a side between us are watching. So, shall we take this opportunity to reinforce our alliance?
Getting a sincere invitation out of you is almost impossible. As we move to the center of the dance floor, the orchestra strikes up a melody I know all too well. I look up and meet Zayne's mirthful gaze. You still remember the steps?
It's been a long time.
This was the first formal dance I performed at my debut auntie? As the crown princess. Zayne was the one who practiced with me back then. During that ball, he took my hand and led me onto the dance floor. With a sea of calculating, suspicious glares around us, he offered his support and trust. But now, can we even say one honest word to each other again? During our dance, I lean in as we turn and speak softly. Why did you actually try to find me tonight?
Perhaps I simply wanted to dance like your majesty.
I don't believe you. It's because I can't bring myself to focus entirely on the dance. You're here to keep an eye on me. You won't let me win over your soldiers. It's a cunning move.
How many people were you planning to dance with tonight?
Before I process his words, Zayne's hand presses into my waist. I spin with the music and realize I can find balance within his grasp. Is he jealous? The music swells to its most passionate crescendo. Couples hold their partners close as they spin and weave across the parquet. The dance floor turns into a swirling vortex. Seeing this side of Zayne is a rare treat. I seize this opportunity to whisper a wicked joke into his ear. I haven't decided yet. It depends on what I can get out of it. Zayne, you've always had good taste. Why don't you help me pick one? For example, that man over there.
He has a family.
Then the one...
He has sworn an oath of abstinence to the stars.
Am I supposed to believe that? What about the young soldier from before? I'm so busy looking around that I miss the music shifting to its languid finale. I step on Zayne's foot. The arm around my waist suddenly tightens and I'm pulled into his embrace.
What kind of game are you playing tonight?
Yeah, you know.
Is there a reason that forbids you from choosing me?
No. Unable to break free, I meet his gaze without backing down. My playful mood is gone. It's replaced by a nameless, irresistible impulse. Are you asking because I won't consider you? Or is it that you've never given me a chance to? I can see what every single person in this room wants from me. It's plain, raw, and within my control. But you're the only one I can't read. Even when you're standing right in front of me. Zayne releases his grip. Hi, Skazzle. Hi, Shaz. Hello, hello. 40 stream streak and 60 stream streak. Thank you both. Zayne releases his grip.
The allure of that fervor, adoration, and worship is fleeting. You'll tire of it eventually. What you truly need is...
As the first dance ends, fireworks bloom against the night sky. Everyone's gaze is drawn to the brilliant display outside. The fireworks drown out Zayne's words, yet the impulse within me has been ignited. We're kissing him! I push Zayne into a shadowy corner of the ballroom and kiss him. It isn't particularly passionate, but it's enough to make Zayne's thoughts stop. Now he's focused solely on me. Hee. As fireworks illuminate the sky once more, Zayne leans in. I was reading. His kiss takes away the words I was about to say. Ooh! I know his prized rationality has evaporated at that moment, on this very night. Ooh! Oh! Oh shit. As dazzling fireworks light up the ball, Zayne and I slip away unnoticed. We hold each other close as we hurry down the corridor and tumble into my bedchamber. His kisses fall like rain and melt into me like fresh snow. My heart finds itself dancing to a frantic rhythm. Dad, it's getting good. It's getting good. Forget about etiquette, politics, forget about all those other reasons.
Tonight, I'm the only one you need.
Ah! I won't uncover his secrets, outwit his sharp mind, or control his destiny. All I want is him at this moment. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Very much so. He's even. The afterglow of our passion hangs in the air. I stir and roll over before waking up in Zayne's arms. My mind is blank. The ornate patterns on the ceiling swim before my eyes. It takes me a moment to remember where I am. He's snoring. Zayne is asleep, his breathing deep. However, his brow is furrowed as if he's troubled by his dreams. What are you thinking about? I smooth the worry from his forehead, but then my bracelet abruptly buzzes against my wrist. My secretary is calling in the middle of the night. I feel my eyebrow twitch. I clamp a hand over the bracelet before it can wake Zayne. For some reason, a sense of foreboding rises in my heart. I slip out of bed as quietly as possible. Leaving the bedchamber, I answer the call.
Your Majesty, we just received a confession from Major Wace at the border prison.
Go on.
Major Wace has confessed that the mastermind behind the Fortress Number 1 rebellion is the Grand General.
No! There's only silence. Keep going.
According to Major Wace, the Grand General had long coveted Fortress Number 1 as a means to expand his forces, and had been contacting him frequently in private. During Sen's rebellion, the Grand General promised him a substantial reward and a promotion. He persuaded him to abandon the fortress and defect to Sten. But the Grand General went back on his word and arrested him for treason. As a result, Wace decided to tell us everything.
A conspiracy always seems simple once it's laid bare. When I return to my bedchamber, should I confront Zayne, lay the cards on the table, or should I kill him? Waze refused to speak about his defection since his arrest. Yet after all this time, the first words out of his mouth were accusations against Zayne. Accusations against Zayne. Words. How credible is his confession? My thoughts turn in chaos. However, one thing is clear. I have an opportunity. Regardless of the truth, this is all I need to topple Zayne from his position. I won't have any rivals left to challenge my authority. And the concept of balancing royal authority can be erased from the Empire's history. But I touch the red mark on my neck. It's where the warmth of Zayne's touch still lingers.
Your Majesty, shall we continue with the investigation?
Zayne. Investigate discreetly, and do not alert Zayne.
Understood.
When morning arrives, it isn't birdsong or sunlight streaming into the bedchamber that wakes me. Rather, it's the warmth of Zayne's arms against my back. I turn and see he's already awake.
Good morning, Your Majesty.
Sir, you better not be betraying me. I don't think the Grand General is supposed to say good morning to his Empress in a place like this.
Doesn't it lend credence to the rumors that we are conspiring for power?
I note the hint of smile on Zayne's lips and glare at him, pressing an exasperated hand to my forehead. I push him away and swing my legs out of the bed. My feet land on something soft. I look down. Her clothes are strewn all over the floor. As if on cue, a knock comes from the door. My headache worsens.
Your Majesty, the Foreign Minister is waiting for you at the door. Halron, the Stain Galaxy's leader, would like to negotiate.
Negotiate what? I turn to look at Zayne. He's already getting out of bed and calmly pulling on his shirt. His bracelet beeps. After fastening the last button, he raises his wrist
Grand General, where are
and answers the call.
you? The Foreign Minister is looking for you. The Stein Galaxy's leader, Halron, has requested to begin negotiations with the Empire.
Understood. I'm on my way to the council room.
Given the urgent situation, there's no time to worry about appearances. Let's go together.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, Grand General? What
It's
are
okay,
you?
Shaz. You're fine.
Ahem. This is convenient. I'll ask the people I sent to find the Grand General to return at once.
"15 minutes ago, we received the latest intel. Stein's forces have arrived at the edge of the Allure Galaxy. The rebel leader, Halron, is leading the delegation.
He's bold. To leave Steen after his coup. Has he already stabilized his position?
There are still many within Stein who oppose Halron.
Stein.
The main reason is his regicide and usurpation. That's why he's desperate to find an external enemy. He needs to convince his people that he's not a usurper. Rather, he simply replaced a weak, incompetent leader.
So this enemy is the Empire. Me. I turn to Zayne, who stands before the holographic map. You're well informed on their internal affairs.
I'm merely doing my duty.
Zayne zooms in on the map. He's focused on the current position of Harlon's fleet.
Halron's fleet has adopted a battle formation. They're ready to open fire at a moment's notice.
Your Majesty, these negotiations might be nothing more than a formality, but many of the smaller galaxies affiliated with the Empire are watching. The best course of action would be for you to appear in person.
Harlon is truly a golden standard for these opportunistic rats. Then again, I could make an example out of him. I currently need something like that. Before I can respond to the foreign minister, Zayne speaks.
I'll go. I faced Halron on the battlefield before. I'm the person who knows him best.
It's a plausible reason. However, considering the classified report I received last night, I can't help but suspect that Zayne might colluding with... I can't help but suspect that Zayne might be colluding with Harlon in secret. If galaxies are waiting to see my response, then why should I hide behind the Grand General? We'll go together. Besides, the situation is volatile. Who knows, this might be the last time we ever see each other. Zayne chuckles softly, but he quickly composes himself and turns to his subordinate.
Select a suitable battleship and ensure the escort fleet is ready for battle. Be prepared for any contingency.
Yes, sir.
There's no need for that. We'll take the Valkyrie. I'm familiar with its specs. The diplomatic fleet consisting of the Valkyrie and several escort spaceships departs from Fortress Number 1. Out of boredom, I pull up the screen in front of my seat. I tap it a few times and the display is flooded with red warnings. Classified files, access denied. The security measures are second to none.
Warning! Warning! Unidentified battleship detected. The Valkyrie has been targeted.
What's happening? Trouble arrives sooner than I expected. A bright flash erupts outside the window. It's followed by a violent shudder that rocks the entire battleship. Is that Harlon's fleet?
Hold on tight. The escorts are following emergency protocols.
Zayne pushes me back into my seat almost by reflex and fastens my safety harness. Above his head, a panel with conducts crashes down. I grab his arm and pull him towards me. You should be careful too.
Thank you.
The escort spaceships try to draw their fire, but Harlon's attack is brutally straightforward. They ignore the escorts and focus all their firepower on the Valkyrie. As the battle rages, the auto-navigation system becomes unreliable. Zayne switches to a manual control. Valkyrie charges forward in an attempt to break through the encirclement. I bite my lip and glance at Zayne. His brow is as furrowed as mine. If Zayne is working with Harlon, then what's happening?
The main power module has been damaged. Please land immediately.
The nearest landing site.
The view outside is strikingly familiar. Memories from long ago surface in my mind as Zayne and I speak in unison.
Planet Valkyrie.
It's a planet Zayne and I know very well. For the Imperial Military Academy was here previously. Without saying another word, Zayne pulls up the coordinates and initiates the warp. The violent aftershocks from the warp rock the battleship. An involuntary tremor runs through me, and I clench my fist. Suddenly, I feel warmth on the back of my hand. I look down to see that Zayne is holding my hand. This might be the end. Do you have any last words for me?
I'm sorry.
The shield barrier slams down in front of us, but the massive impact still makes my vision go black. I lose consciousness. Valkyrie Military Academy hangar. Hazy afternoon light filters through the air. Today is the Crown Princess's coming-of-age ceremony, and the Military Academy has given everyone a day off. They're currently participating in the festivities. But the Crown Princess herself, me, is exhausted from the endless flattery and niceties, so I've slipped away. This is the only time the hangar is empty. I duck inside the ajar gate and rows of training spacecraft appear. I venture further into the cavernous space. My gaze lands on the brand new battleship that's docked in the far end of the row. Valkyrie. Named after the Empire's most prestigious military academy, she has to be state of the art. Let's do a test flight, at least. I open the hatch and hop into the pilot's seat and peel the protective film from the console. Then I pull out a fingerprint mold. I went through so much trouble to get this fingerprint mold. To get this fingerprint from Zayne's sunglasses. It better work. I press the mold against the ignition panel, and the authorization light flashes green. Ecstatic, I pat the pilot's seat. I knew Zayne's fingerprint would work. Damn it.
Where are you running off to, Your Highness?
Nowhere. Somewhere. You weren't supposed to catch me. Just as I'm about to fire up the engines and fly off into the thrilling unknown, Zayne's voice cuts through the speakers. Zayne, my preceptor, subordinate, and bane of my existence, and the guardian of the record, listed on my academy registry until today. Staring at me through the screen, he's standing before the battleship with his sunglasses on. However, how he figured out I was here is beyond me. Steeling myself, I jab the ship's comms button. I'm ready to project the unyielding authority of a mature crown princess. Move aside, otherwise I'll run you over. Zayne smiles.
Be my guest. But if you fail to silence me, I'm doubling tonight's lesson on tactical deployment.
I slump back into the seat. Grand General, you're one of the Empire's priceless treasures. Would anyone dare lay a hand on you? Not ready to admit defeat, I slam the comms button again. I'm not going anywhere. I'm tired. Surely I can take a nap in here. Good afternoon. Dozing off, I close my eyes. A moment later, I feel someone sit down beside me.
Your breathing tells me you're pretending to be asleep.
Says who? You woke me up. What are you gonna do about it?
I can put you back to sleep if you'd like.
Why does that sound scary? That won't be necessary. A mischievous idea pops into my head. I pluck the sunglasses off and put them on. The light is too harsh. I'm borrowing these. I rest my head on his shoulder, but it's not enough. I pat his chest. What a nice pillow. I'm borrowing this too. I snuggle up against him, trying to find a warm, comfortable spot in his embrace.
Is there anything else? We might as well deal with them now.
A blanket would be nice. It's freezing in the Valkyrie. Maybe I can use your coat?
If you're keen on turning a battleship into your bedroom, I can always enroll you in the course for tactical simulation and field survival. You'll get to sleep in one for a month.
Stop twisting my words. I'm going to sleep now. Feeling Zayne move, I protest immediately. Surely the mighty Grand General wouldn't deny someone of her sleep. Am I mistaken, my dearest preceptor?
If you want to sleep, do so properly. Stop squirming.
He holds me in his arms and I feel warmer. You're always stopping me from doing things. Why is this an exception?
I can't forbid someone from sleeping. And once you wake up, you'll be well rested. It's perfect for having a long night filled with lessons.
Maybe you shouldn't wake me up. My eyelids grow heavy. What started as a prank to annoy Zayne is giving way to genuine drowsiness. Zayne, I officially came of age today. I wish time could stop at this moment. Soon, I'll return to the palace and become the Empress. An Empress has a lot of power, and you have your own authority. When that day comes, can we still be like this? I feel Zayne holding me closer, but it might be a figment of my imagination.
No. When you ascend the throne, Individuals whose power rivals yours will become your enemy. This also applies to those who are weaker than you. And it includes me. When that time comes, I won't only be stopping you from sneaking out to have fun. I will counter every decision you make.
I don't mind. I'm barely awake, but I refuse to concede defeat. I push the sunglasses up and look at him. I never needed anyone's permission to do what I want. Just before I drift off, I think I hear Zayne's soft, almost approving chuckle, and something warm is draped over me. It's his coat. They're so cute! It's cold. I tighten my grip on the coat that's draped over me. But now what I'm laying on feels hard and unforgiving. Shaking my head, I notice how something's not right. I open my eyes. With Zayne's coat covering me, I'm lying in one of the Valkyrie's plush seats. Above me is a battleship's damaged hull. Memories of Harlan's attack flood into my mind. Fully awake, I realize I was dreaming. Why was it about my coming-of-age ceremony? Many years have passed since then. I slowly sit up. Zayne is at the pilot's console and calibrating the battleship's systems. From the window, I can see that night has fallen.
How are you feeling?
My shoulders are sore.
You don't have external wounds. However, you should drink something to replenish your energy.
I take the bottle from Zayne and return his coat to him. Seeing that I'm all right, Zayne turns back to the battleship's system. His back is exposed to me. The sword he gave me is within arm's reach. The truth is, after my coming-of-age ceremony, I've had countless opportunities to get rid of him with the most underhanded of means, but I never did. It's because of his victories on the battlefield. He's my most capable subordinate, and I take a sip of the drink. Also because of these acts of kindness that have nothing to do with power.
The main power module reboot has failed.
We're stranded here for now, but the comms module wasn't badly damaged. It's already been repaired.
Zayne accesses the comms channel and connects to the Imperial Central Command. A familiar voice comes through.
Your Majesty, are you all right?
I'm well. What's the current situation in the Empire? My secretary quickly... Why can I not talk today? Holy shit, it's bad. Sorry, chat. Quickly briefs me on what happened since our emergency landing. War had broken out at a terrifying speed, but the military launched a counterattack based on the contingency plans we left and kept losses to a minimum.
The readings show that Valkyrie's power module is severely damaged. Should we dispatch a fleet to retrieve you?
Anyone who wants to approach planet Valkyrie will have to navigate an active war zone. It's safer to remain here.
The planet was decommissioned during the defense reforms I spearheaded, but its basic defense systems were never dismantled. It still remains some capacity for stealth and counterattacks. We'll issue commands from here. What I need you to do is leak a report that Harlan's ambush failed, so we've safely returned to the capital. The Imperial Army will make Harlan pay.
Understood, Your Majesty.
As I speak, I watch Zayne's reaction. If he's truly colluding with Harlan, then this would be the perfect opportunity to find out. Over the next few days, Zayne and I methodically repair the battleship. We reactivate the Academy's decommissioned service bots and take up residence in old dormitories. Sometimes, when I wake up to the dorm's familiar ceiling, I feel slightly disoriented. It's as if I'm still the crown princess studying at the Academy, and my relationship with Zayne has yet to become complicated. On planet Valkyrie, the days and nights are unnaturally long. The atmospheric dome is still broken. It glitches out again as Zayne and I finish repairing the Valkyrie's hull. We sit on top of the starship and idly watch a star sink towards the horizon. Time seems to leisurely pass and our breathing slows with it. I nudge Zayne's knee with mine. Before the Valkyrie went down, you said you were sorry. What were you talking about?
It was nonsense. Don't think too much about it.
I don't believe you. Zayne put away his toolbox. His gaze follows the star where the Academy's fortress lies in the distance.
That tree in the palace. The one that has yet to bloom. You transplanted it from the Academy, yes?
I did. But who knew it'd stop blossoming once it moved? Why do you think it's so stubborn? I turned Zayne's face towards me, and what I'm trying to imply is clear as I enunciate every word. Should I resort to something more extreme? I could cut off its favorite sweet water supply, or I could mess with its lush leaves. Zayne's eyes crinkle with amusement, and I'm taken aback. I haven't seen him smile like that in a long time.
Your expression tells me that you can't believe I'm capable of smiling.
You should smile more, Zayne. I haven't seen it enough.
The novelty will inevitably wear off.
I doubt it. No matter what happens, I'll always want to see you smile more. More time passes. The star sinks below the horizon and rises once more. One morning, an escort starship lands on planet Valkyrie. After clearing out the ambushers, Zayne's personal guards arrive to assist us. They bring with them the tidings of war. The tactical classroom is converted into a command center where daily strategy meetings are held. The situation becomes clear. Fortress Number 1 has played a critical role in this war. Soon we'll be leaving planet Valkyrie. But I haven't forgotten Major Way's accusation against Zayne. Under the guise of repairing the battleship, I've been searching for clues with remote assistance from my secretary these past few days.
Highest clearance level has been granted.
I press the key and the erased classified data is restored. Whether or not Zayne colluded with Harlan will soon be revealed. A stream of data floods the screen. 3 automatically logged flight paths appear before me. Zayne met with Harlan at the border more than once. I can't believe he could tolerate making deals with such a man. There's also a heavily encrypted attachment. The password is, I tentatively type in a string of numbers. It's my birthday. The day when I'd be a little older. I don't know whether to feel bitter or glad. Is that Venom? Venom, did you change your name? Hello. How are you? Hello, hello. I don't know whether to feel bitter or glad. The decrypted file reveals an agreement. There's only a few clauses, but they spell out every step of Steen's rebellion in great detail. Zayne would instruct Major Ways, who is stationed at the border, to secretly help Harlan usurp power, seize the Steen galaxy, and declare succession. Okay, I thought it was. Your color of your name was still the same for me. Is it Zinmus? Extricto Zinmus? I'm sorry. I'm gonna struggle. Once Wee's defected, Zayne would step in and suppress the rebellion, which would give him a legitimate reason to take command of Fortress Number 1 and weaken the Empress's authority. Then Zayne would quell the unrest caused by the civil war in the Empire and seize power for himself. The final line of the agreement states that the Empress would be handed over to Zayne. He'd take her life to ensure she could never oppose him again. The star is falling, and I hear a distant rumbling. Only when I close my eyes I can hear it clearly. It's the sound from deep within my heart. So you've been plotting against me this whole time. Assuming this is true, then I no longer need to waver about standing against Zayne. Begin immediate preparations for a military tribunal against Zayne.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Everything will be set in motion once we leave planet Valkyrie and I return to the Empire.
What are you doing?
I hear a voice behind me. My hand jerks as it switches the screen and disconnects the comms channel. What are you doing? That's the better question. Zayne walks in. I avert my gaze, not wanting to look at him. I respond half-heartedly. I'm looking around, killing time. Is the Council of War over? Zayne nods and takes the pilot seat. It's only then that I realize I switched the screen to a combat situation.
Were you waiting for me?
Wordlessly, I sit down, press start, and choose the defending side as usual. The simulation begins, and Zayne's primary target is a strategic fortress. The fortress defense is sluggish. It falls to Zayne in moments. I'll let you have it.
That's a new excuse.
I flawlessly counter Zayne's subsequent attacks and let him believe I made a careless mistake. Patiently, I set up a trap that spans the entire board. Finally...
I suppose I lost.
Yes. It's about time you did. I stand up. I stand up! A resolve that doesn't falter is needed to defeat Zayne. He once told me that for the sake of victory, one must sometimes sacrifice what matters the most. At long last, I've made up my mind. I'm determined to turn the tide of this war. This means I'm determined to sacrifice Zayne. Baby girl, why? But we can't. We love him. He's so husband. Why? The war between the Empire and Stein Galaxy intensified. With Zayne leading the military, Harlan's forces crumbled. We receive a report from the front lines. Harlan has been captured alive and is being held in the border prison. Despite the trouble he caused, Zayne and I have a strange unspoken agreement to never mention his name again. 2 days later, the Valkyrie's repairs are complete, and we set a course to return to the Empire. As we head back, I close my eyes and pretend to sleep, but my mind races. Zayne is always cautious. To ensure I deal a decisive strike, I need more evidence. Wisey's testimony, the recovered data from the battleship, and Harlan. Nothing would carry more weight than a confession from the leader of the Stein Galaxy. I can't afford to keep delaying things. I must see him in person. Dodging our distance to the border prison, I pull up the navigation system and change our destination.
You've changed our course?
I'm going to interrogate Harlan.
You can leave that to your subordinates. Our current priority is to return to the Empire so all the factions can see you're safe and sound.
I let out a cold laugh and my voice drips with sarcasm. You don't want me to go? Or are you afraid of what Harlan might tell me? About you. Suddenly changing our course was a calculated move to catch Zayne off guard. And Zayne, a master in handling emergencies, is now uncharacteristically silent. I still struggled, but it's fine. I got the word out, kind of. You should address me as Your Majesty. After the Valkyrie lands at the border prison, I activate the battleship's internal comms and summon Zayne's personal guards. Secure the Valkyrie. Unless I give the order, Zayne cannot leave the battleship. No one is allowed to approach him. The guards freeze and look at Zayne, the Grand General they've always served. You didn't hear me? The air grows so cold that it feels solid. A moment passes before the guards slowly surround Zayne. If you fail, you shall share the burden of his guilt. I look at Zayne again. He shows neither anger nor panic. He doesn't even ask what crime I intend to charge him with. But my decisions never required his approval. Interrogation room. Harlan is brought in, and there isn't a scratch on him. I suspect that he surrendered to the Imperial soldiers with little to no resistance. You're a smart man, so I'll ask you this once. The smuggling of weapons between you and Zayne. With someone like him, honesty won't get you anywhere. So I put extra stress on the arms smuggling and watch Harlan's reaction closely. Did you approach Zayne first, or did Zayne contact you?
How did you find out? He came to me, of course. Your Majesty's rewards weren't enough for him, so he decided to fill his own pockets.
I see. So you have no idea what the agreement was about. I deliberately substitute with the coup. Wow. I deliberately substitute the coup with smuggling, and he didn't even notice.
Does it matter? Isn't it better to let a misunderstanding work in your favor? Your Majesty, you can order me to testify against Zayne. I am here to serve. I promise you won't regret it.
I don't trust anybody right now. He's trying his best to persuade me, but I don't hear a word he's saying. If Harlan knew nothing about the agreement, then where did the hidden document I found come from? Trembling like a leaf, Wise is cowering on the floor before me. There's not a single trace of the major he once was.
The Grand General's treason. I don't know anything.
This is your own confession, yet you claim to know nothing? I don't have all days to play games with you. Or would you rather have a little chat with Zayne?
Wait, I'll talk!
Mentioning Zayne's name is enough to make him deflate like a punctured sack of flour. He tells me everything. Everyone knew that Fortress Number 1 was impregnable. No one could ever conquer it, and Wise believed that too. So he postponed routine inspections and cut corners on security patrols. When he realized that his negligence had created a fatal vulnerability in their defenses, Stein's forces had already broken through. In his panic, Wise chose to defect the Stein Galaxy to save himself.
But in the end, the Grand General captured me and brought me back.
And the confession?
I didn't do it willingly, Your Majesty. On that day, visiting hours were over when someone approached my cell.
I try to keep my breathing steady.
It was the Grand General. He forced me to accuse him of treason.
You can start preparing your statement now.
Grand General, you're joking, yes?
Several ice shards pin Wisey's prison uniform in its place.
I understand. You were my accomplice in betraying the Empire.
Are you playing make-believe?
Zayne gambled with the Imperial defenses. He ordered me to lose so Stein's forces could invade.
That's not heinous enough.
He promised he'd let me go, but he went back on his word and arrested me. Then he tortured me.
Continue.
Zayne also said that the Empress is unfit to rule the Empire. He'd inevitably kill her.
Excellent.
Grand General, if this confession falls into the Empress's hands, she could use it to get rid of you. The Empress controls the court, and the nobles who support you will flock to her side. Her authority will be absolute.
An Empress with absolute power. Is there anything wrong with that?
Okay, so is Zayne the good guy? I'm so fucking... What? My heart is pounding. I don't even remember how I made it out of the border prison. Young Empress needed a political opponent, a rival to keep her in check. If it wasn't Zayne, then it'd be one of the nobles who were watching her like a hawk. Zayne was the person she knew and trusted the most. With him, she could sit securely on the throne. In the time, the Empress began to demonstrate her ambition and talent. If Zayne remained, a civil war might break out. So there's only one solution. Once the giant was brought down, the Empress could rule over a unified empire. For a moment, I remember the combat simulation aboard the Valkyrie. Did I actually defeat Zayne?
Your Majesty, an urgent military report has arrived.
The secretary hurries towards me and I grab her arm. I immediately cancel the military tribunal for Zayne.
Your Majesty, it's too late. The military has already announced charges of treason against the Grand General to the public. The entire Empire knows the Grand General has betrayed the Empire. And you.
No! The evidence in the military received. It could have only been provided by Zayne himself. He sacrificed his own reputation to give me the one gift I've always wanted. Zayne, no! The anger and frustration I've suppressed for so long burst like water surging through a broken dam. I storm onto the battleship. As soon as I'm through the hatch, I see the guards assigned to Zayne. They're nothing more than unmoving pillars of ice. I take a few steps and the hatch closes behind me. Then the battleship engines roar to life. I don't care where it's going. I only want to find Zayne and demand an answer.
Coordinates confirmed. Returning to Allure.
Zayne.
You're here?
Of course I'm here. Oh!
This spaceship will return to its home planet. But we can never go back to what we were.
Why can't we? Damn, MC, you're badass.
I gave you that sword, and you wield it well.
Yeah? But you betrayed me!
I've told you before, you must never show mercy to traitors.
Aww. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Damn.
Your Majesty, this is the price of mercy.
Ooh. Oh, his voice right there was so good. The nose kiss.
Yes, the very betrayal I've committed. Consider it My final lesson. Congratulations, you've matured. My Empress.
Aww. News of Zayne's treason spread throughout the Empire overnight. The public's fury overwhelmed reason. In ensuring outrage, military authority smoothly transferred into my hands. I officially began my reign without the delicate balance of power Zayne had created. The Empire ran with exceptional efficiency, and the leeches who once tried to bargain with me could only bow their heads in submission. But Zayne's fate remained a thorn in my side. My position prevented me from publicly exhorting Zayne. It appeared as though I was acting on personal feelings, and it would destabilize the political situation I secured. With my tacit approval, two groups appeared before me. Noting the political situation, one faction did everything in their power to slander Zayne, diminish his accomplishments, and exaggerate his ambitions. The other argued fiercely on Zayne's behalf and begged me to restore his status and honor. After a heated public debate, I gave my verdict. Zayne would be confined to his home planet. He was forbidden from taking a single step outside of it. After a long day of tedious imperial affairs, I deftly open a window and board my private vessel where no one is watching. I use a familiar route to reach Zayne's home planet. It's late, but Zayne is still awake. He's living a life of leisure now. He spends his days reading, eating desserts, and making ice sculptures. He even found the time to write 142 treatises on military strategy. When I find him, he's resting on a lounge chair. A neat row of small ice sculptures rest at his feet. Ooh. I know you're not asleep. Stop pretending.
And what's your excuse for neglecting your duties this time, Your Majesty?
The tree in the palace has bloomed, you lazy man. I gently tuck a flower into his lapel. I picked this up from under the tree. If you want to see what it looks like when it's in full bloom, you should return to the palace soon.
So you're visiting because of the flower?
I'm here for you, of course. With a huff, I give him a new verdict. Within 2 years, I'll find a way to revoke my previous sentence and restore your honor. And when I do, you'll be in charge of running the military academy. Instead of getting up, Zayne only settles deeper into his lounge chair. His smile never leaves his face. Did you hear me? 2 years is too long, as it is. Stop grinning.
But I recall you saying you wanted me to smile more.
I lean down to tease him, but he pulls me into his arms.
I only have 2 years of...
The ice sculptures tumble.
Peace and quiet left. I should make the most of it, and rest while I can.
Nestled in his embrace, I look at the stars and remember the first time I met Zayne. The night was exactly like this. Back then, it took me a significant amount of effort to track Zayne down. I flew my spaceship alone across half the galaxy and landed here.
Could it even be called a landing? Based on what I remember, it was more like a crash.
Okay.
When you saw me, your first words weren't a request for help. You demanded me to be your advisor and help you claim the throne.
You refused and handed me an acceptance letter to the military academy. It was a test. And now I've approached him again for the same reason. I want him to rule the Empire with me. I hold out my hand. What will you give me this time? Zayne places his palm over mine.
Myself.
Yay! Yay! I smile and take his hand. I like that gift. Anger once clouded their judgment, and power once consumed their reason. On the path to reach the pinnacle of power, the Empress raised her sword only to gently lay it down. The Grand General, who was a single step away from the throne, turned and left. Two hearts that once burned for power soon trembled for love. Excerpt from The Rise and Fall of the Cosmic Empire. That was so good. So angsty. Zany, you're not allowed to betray me. Alright, chat, I'm gonna turn Tangia back on for you guys. I can't see my buttons. Also, I'm gonna take just like 3 seconds. I'll be right back. I don't even know if that was 3 seconds. Yay! I still haven't brought Xavi home. I'm hoping that that will change at some point. Before this goes away. I only have 6 days. I need my Xavi. At least he's guaranteed. We should get him eventually. I'm gonna check on my flowers while I am still on lads for a few minutes. My heart's on fire. Don't look away. Thank you, plugs. Thank you, everybody, for contributing towards the 24-hour subathon. Thank you, thank you. Silas is singing in the living room. Where you at? Where you at, Pookie? Yeah? You want to do that again for chat? Do I need to get more foliage? I don't know if I do or not. Summer glow, it's burning bright. My skin, my heart's on fire. Batch care. Jimmy's mine. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait for this game to come on to PC, you know? I just keep hoping and waiting very patiently. Let Love and Deepspace come to Steam so that way my hours are on my profile. That's all I want. You guys want to see me and Silas dance? Yeah. They're so cute. I've seen this episode before. I made a little shrine too, chat. There's my shrine. Because for those of you that might not know, Silas, Zayne, and Xavier are my top 3. So of course, all 3 of them can visit me. I also put a bed in here. I don't know why. I still don't really know what to do with this whole corner. I feel like I'm getting somewhere with it, but I don't know. I want to show you guys something that Xavier does. I keep seeing if Silas will do it too. I even put him in his idol outfit yesterday. But he didn't do it, but because I let the boys all come visit. And I usually always have Xavier in his idol outfit because I love it. But I let them all dress themselves. So this is what he looks like today. Xavier, come here. Xavier, come here. Don't walk away from me. Don't walk away from me. Come here. Can you sing for chat? Can you sing, please?
Na 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 na.
Okay.
Na,
Not that one. The other one.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Okay. Can you do it again, but can you sing your other song, please, sir?
Na 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 na.
I'm gonna walk away.
Na na na.
I'm wondering if I have to put him in the idol outfit.
Na na na. Na na na.
We'll just do it for science. For science. Only for science. Okay. We're gonna try this again. Sing for me, Xavier.
Na 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 na.
He's so cute. I don't know if they all do it when you put them in their idol outfits, but that's definitely the song that he, from his idol banner. This one? Because I tried putting Silas in it, but he wasn't cooperating. No. Hi, Pookie. Maybe I didn't put him in the full outfit. Maybe I forgot the decal. I'm gonna figure this out, chat. So facial. Put the decal on him. Put the earrings on him. Put that on him. Will you sing for chat? Will you sing your song for chat, please? Pookie, come here. You like the bathroom. I know. You're in the bathroom all the time, but can you, we're trying things. Nope. He's really cute, though. I'll give it to him. He's still cute. I just wish you'd sing Badass Trigger, but it's fine. Why did Xavier get it? Where's Silas's? McQuy. Is Daily Slap not working? Or is it just really delayed? I didn't even hear it. I'm gonna cry. Zayne also sings. Would you guys like to see Zayne's? I haven't seen Zayne's outfit today because I let him dress himself too. Oh, there it is. Zayne, where are you? Oh my god, he's Cat Butler. I want to see you sing.
La 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 la.
Okay, he sings his song too. Why doesn't Silas sing his? I'm gonna cry. This is Silas's. This is Zayne's. This is what he just sang. Why doesn't Silas sing Badass Trigger for me? Oh my god, he wants to sleep with me. They're snuggling. Wait, we can give him a massage? They're so cute. I like how they each got their own little thing with that. I didn't really do a whole lot yesterday with that. I just tried to get them to the point where they can visit. Oh, I gotta cancel out of the sleep thing. Singing their tunes in the afternoon. Alright, chat. I do think this weekend we're gonna try and do, try and read main story update. At least the first few chapters of it. Take my hand now. Oh, well, and then Zayne decides to surprise us by making drinks. Oh no, you made a bad drink. It's okay, Zany. Try it again. Come on, try it again. I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh well. Alright. Bye-bye, boy.